Today we're talking about something that might feel uncomfortable at first, but I promise it's going to feel like relief at the end. We're talking about the benefit of the doubt, specifically who actually deserves it. Because if you're anything like most of the autistic clients I work with, you've been handing it out for free to people who've already shown you who they are, to people who have disappointed you more than once, twice, maybe even 10 times, to people who have never, ever extended it back to you. And you've been doing it because somewhere along the way, you were taught that assuming the best about people is what good, kind, and fair people do. Ugh. What have you to show for it? If you don't give a second chance, so they told you, or a fifth one, or a 10th one, you're being harsh. You're being closed off. You're being unforgiving. Today, we're going to dismantle that. We're going to talk about what the benefit of the doubt actually is, what it's designed for, and how growing up autistic trained most of us to extend it compulsively, even when the evidence says otherwise. It costs you so much when you give it to the wrong people. So let's talk about how to build a real system for knowing who has earned it and who has not. Are you ready? Let's go. What's going on? My name is Coach Lee Hopkins. My pronouns are he, him, his, and you're listening to the Patterns of Possibility podcast, the podcast for late identified autistic adults who want real relationships without fake masks. Let's talk connection, clarity, and showing up as your authentic self. Now, what is the benefit of the doubt? Well, the benefit of the doubt is a tool. It exists for situations where you genuinely do not have enough information yet, where someone's behavior is ambiguous, where there's a real, reasonable possibility that your read of the situation might be incomplete. That is when it is useful. That is what it's for. It was never designed to be applied to someone who's already shown you a clear pattern. It was never meant to override your own direct experience. And by the way, most of us have been taught not to trust in our own direct experiences, not to trust in our own feelings. In my own personal experience, that's why I've just been giving it out to everyone and anyone for so many years, regardless of what I observed. I can tell you also from personal experience and all the pain and frustration that I had from giving it out so freely and generously, that people just kept doing the same thing over and over while I just explained it away. So when you use the benefit of the doubt that way, it stops being generosity. It becomes a way of arguing yourself, gaslighting yourself out of your own perception, abandoning yourself. Now, why do we do this? Well, I touched on it at the beginning of the episode, but we were really basically trained to overextend it and give our generosity in that way. So many autistic adults grew up being told that their read of any situation was wrong because how we experience the world is quite different than neurotypical people. The observations that we have, the sensory perception, those things, and when we express them, people were like, that's not what I'm experiencing. That's not how I feel about the world. You are wrong. And it seems that there are more of them than us. And so we take a look around and we're like, I must be wrong. I must be wrong. So maybe my perception isn't what I think it is. I need to adjust it to fit to what other people are experiencing so that I can be on the same page so I won't be wrong. And so right there, you start learning that your perception of yourself, your perception of the world, your experiences, your feelings doesn't matter. It's absolutely wrong. So you get that trained into you. So then if you're actually hurt by someone, if they do something that invokes some negative feelings in you, they disappoint you, they misunderstand you, you get upset, you think that it's your fault. You think, maybe I have misread the situation because it's happened so many times in the past, and you believe those voices of the people that said you were wrong. And in this situation, you're probably wrong. It's the default. So perhaps you need to give them the benefit of the doubt of the situation. Did not doubt that they did something wrong. Don't doubt that they were trying to do their best. See things on their level, on their side. Take their perspective and completely dismiss how you feel about the thing, because it's probably wrong. It's probably wrong. And it totally makes sense that we would do this. It's a survival mechanism. After all, if you are not kind and supportive and understanding, appreciative of others, then they're going to go away. They're going to distance themselves from you, and you're going to be alone. And nobody wants to feel like they're alone. It's more abandonment, right? It feels like abandonment. So you do anything that you possibly can to preserve the relationship, to keep the connection, so that you're not left behind. You're not left lonely. You use the tools that you have, which is give them the benefit of the doubt. They did not mean to harm you. They did not mean to disappoint you. And all you need to do is understand them a little more. And man, this works really well with us autistic folks, because we have that natural curiosity. What did I miss? What were they thinking? What were they feeling? They probably had a bad day at work, and we can go on and make up tons of things about their experiences to apply to this negative experience that they've given to us. There's a reason why they have done this. There's a reason why we shouldn't be mad. There's a reason why we need to forgive them and leave our own feelings behind. There's a reason for that. Just give them the benefit of the doubt. And my clients come to me with this all of the time. I have one talk about a close friend who over a couple of years had repeatedly just dismissed plans, had flaked out on plans, bailed the last minute. And the client came to me and said they felt like a backup option. They didn't feel like they were being chosen, and they really felt like the relationship was one-sided. But when I talked to them, every time they felt hurt, they said they went through a mental checklist. They said, well, she's going through a hard time. She's always been flaky. It's not personal. I don't want to be the kind of person that keeps score. Now, that costs a lot of mental gymnastics to dismiss your own feelings, to move all the way to the other side and believe that someone else is having an experience that justifies them to treat you in a way that does not feel good. And it justifies that you need to stay in that relationship because there is nothing else that's better, because you are a kind, forgiving, understanding person. You get stuck in that kind of relationship. It costs so much. It costs you your energy because you're holding the cognitive dissonance of seeing the behavior as something they're not choosing to do. They don't have a choice. That they don't mean to do these kind of things to you, and that you just need to accept it. Dismiss your own feelings. Believe that they never meant you any harm, and then continue to stay connected with those kinds of people only because you're giving them the benefit of the doubt. But here's what really happens. Every time you dismiss your own perception, you're sending yourself a message. What I notice doesn't count. What I experience is not reliable. I need to find more charitable explanation before I'm allowed to respond to what I actually felt. And sometimes we don't even dig into what we actually felt until years later, when we can take it no more, when we have no more fucks to give, we have no more benefit to give. But you don't need to wait until then. You don't need to wait until then, because they've always shown you who they are. So there's an important distinction here that I don't want you to miss about the first impression and a pattern. Extending the benefit of the doubt to someone you've just met where you genuinely do not have data yet, that's kind of reasonable. That's how trust gets built. You give someone room to show you who they are before you decide what to do with that information. But once someone has shown you a pattern, repeated, consistent way of behaving, the benefit of the doubt no longer applies the same way. You are not working with ambiguity. You are working with evidence. You see them. You know that they have canceled on you. You expect them to cancel on you. You expect them to flake on you. You expect that. But still you get hurt by that. But still you don't tell them. But still you give them the benefit of the doubt. That's what causes us so much pain. So look at these two scenarios. In the first one, you make plans with someone new and they cancel the day before. You don't know them well. You extend grace. Life happens. You give it another shot. In the second scenario, you have made plans with the same person 6 times. They have canceled 4 of those times, and each time with a different reason. Always the day before or the day of. That right there is no longer ambiguity. It's a pattern. And extending the benefit of the doubt to that person is not generosity. It's you abandoning yourself. It's you choosing their story over the evidence. So, if not everyone deserves the benefit of the doubt, who does? Here are 4 of my favorite people. 1, people who have shown you through repeated behavior over time that they care. 2, people who, when they get something wrong, acknowledge it without being prompted. 3, people who are consistent. Not perfect, but consistent. And 4, people who extend good faith to you as well. Because those are people who have built up enough trust that when something confusing happens, you have a foundation to stand on. You can genuinely say, this does not fit the pattern that I know. Let me ask about it. That is what the benefit of the doubt is for. It's a bridge to cross this moment of uncertainty, but it requires a foundation of trust to build from. So what I'd like to leave you with is the idea that the benefit of the doubt is a useful tool when applied in specific situations. That is for new relationships where you have not yet established a pattern. Assume the benefit of the doubt so that you can learn more about their behavior, so you won't be angry and frustrated with something that was genuinely a misunderstanding. For those that you do know, that you've seen this pattern before, stop extending the benefit of the doubt to them because they have shown you their pattern over and over and over again. And if you struggle with not showing the benefit of the doubt, if you struggle with this, it could mean that you have a fear of letting go, of being perceived as bad or wrong, or you're afraid just not to be alone. It's completely understandable. I help my clients with this all of the time. If you need support, check out patternsofpossibility.com. I'm happy to share with you 30 minutes of free conversation. I will give you an actionable step to help you with a specific challenge that you're having in any relationship, whether it is in your personal life, at work, or even in your business. I'm here to support you. Go to patternsofpossibility.com and I'll see you next time. All right, let's wrap this up. If you've heard something today that has helped you see yourself in relationships a little differently, then I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can leave a comment here, or you can reach me at patternsofpossibility@gmail.com. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, if you could take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe, it really helps more people find these conversations and join our growing community. And speaking of community, if you're looking for a space where you can express yourself and be met with curiosity rather than rejection as a late diagnosed autistic adult, then come visit the patternsofpossibility.com and find your community there. Learn more about what we're doing. We're connecting with others. You can be yourself and authenticity in this space. Find other people who've had your experiences, who know what you're going through, so you don't have to do this alone. Until next time, take care of your energy and remember that connection starts when you allow yourself to be seen.